Hey everyone, it's Jason from Kinda Cool, and today we're going to be playing, yes, playing Dolphin Blue on the Sega Dreamcast. Now, I picked this up on Mercari for about 15 bucks. This is a game I've been thinking about for quite some time since they cracked the code for the Atomiswave, which was basically like a Neo Geo like piece of hardware in the arcades in the late 90s, and it had its own set of games, and a lot of the continuations of the Neo Geo franchises actually happened on the Atomiswave, including Metal Slug. And this game is, while not a Neo Geo game in particular, has a lot of Metal Slug DNA, and I wanted to check it out. So I finally got my hands on it. We're going to give it a play today. We're going to play it for $1, so 4 quarters here. We'll see how far we can get. Hopefully that'll give you a good selection of the game, example of the game here without you getting tired of it. And so we'll go ahead and drop our first quarter in and get this thing started. We'll do that right now. So there's a lot of discussion going on lately. What is a run and gun? What constitutes a run and gun? What is not a run and gun? Well, I can tell you definitively this game is a run and gun through and through. And that's a good thing. I like the genre. I spent a lot of my adult retro gamer career playing these types of games. And obviously a big fan of the Metal Slug series, Contra series. I like those types of games, and this one fits right on there, right in there. And I said it shared DNA with Metal Slug, and I'm not lying. And if you didn't believe me, take a look at this tank coming up. Looks like it drove right out of that franchise. And the kind of the unique element here to this game, or aspect of this game, is the Dolphin. And he's always with you here. He's in the background in the ocean when you're on the land levels or the ship levels. And when you jump in the water, you're actually right on the Dolphin. So that unique gameplay element is kind of what separates this one from the Metal Slug franchise, I would say. But you can see some of the weapons you pick up are very similar in look and playability as they would be in the Metal Slug franchise. So, it's obvious that there's a connection there. And this game is fun. It's really fast-paced. It looks great. The aesthetic looks great. The graphics are great. And this is obviously on Dreamcast level hardware, which is what the Atomiswave was. Now, I didn't ever play this in the arcade. I didn't even really know much about the Atomiswave until, much later in my retro career when they cracked the code for this finally and realized that the hardware is pretty much identical to what was going on in the Dreamcast, and now we have this new assortment or library of games that came from the Atomiswave in the arcade straight to the Dreamcast here. So, pretty cool stuff, and this was the one that caught my eye first and foremost, so happy to get a chance to play this and show this to everyone, and maybe a lot of people haven't seen this game before, so, be happy to show it to you for the first time if that's the case. You gotta be careful here, because again, we're playing on $1, so every life counts, right? And there we go. I took my first death. That's alright though. We still got some money in our pocket and a life left here, so we're gonna keep moving through. And you can see the game is hectic, fast-paced, exciting, and a little bit bizarre, with the Dolphin element here. If this aesthetic here looks familiar, this underwater piece, maybe from a game called In the Hunt, which was a great arcade game and also a really great Saturn translation that was made by, again, the same team that worked on Metal Slug as well. So, In the Hunt was a submarine underwater shoot-'em-up with a very similar aesthetic to what's going on here in Dolphin Blue. So, these levels remind me quite a bit of that. Alright, so we got the first mega boss coming here. Now you can see these boss battles in this game are pretty over the top, which is how you want them to be, actually. Wouldn't have it any other way. So let's see how this goes. So you can see the Dolphin mechanic here in the bottom left corner as the power-up gauge kind of rises and falls. You're kind of waiting for this to max out so you can get the maximum impact. It's like a special move basically, like a special attack. And you can actually execute it prior to the gauge filling up, but it just won't have the same impact to the enemies. So you're trying to wait till you hit that max part as much as you can, and use it carefully and sparingly. One thing I will say is I spared you guys this, but these cutscenes are basically these transitions to the next level. They take a long time to load on the Dreamcast, and I don't know if that had something to do with porting over all this stuff to the Dreamcast from the Atomiswave, but sometimes they can take like 6 or 7 minutes, and you'll think your Dreamcast is frozen, but it's not. It's just queuing up everything that's coming in for the next level. But again, I cut that out and spared you guys that pain. But if you get this game on the Dreamcast, don't freak out if it feels like the level loads are excruciatingly long sometimes. As you can see, as you progress through the game here, it's a beautiful game. But it's starting to get more and more hectic. You know, you're starting to get more enemies coming at you from different directions. Back, forward, bottom, top. So you gotta watch out for those jack moves. You know, people coming up from behind you. And, you know, standard arcade, quarter munchery style. And you're gonna have to deal with that. I'm working on my last life on my first credit here. Let's see if we can string this one out. The key element here is to keep your Dolphin charged up so he can take out the mines that are dropping down from the top, and you can focus on shooting the missiles as they exit the port here. I love the way those scuba divers explode when you cut their scuba outfits and they kind of pop in the middle of the sea. It's very satisfying to play that and have that little animation execute right there. And this is really cool. This is like I guess the princess or whoever it is you're trying to save walking through as you're battling in the background trying to save her. Really cool element there. I really dug that. I think it's really one of the cooler pieces of background animation that take place in this game, which has quite a bit of that. And just like any other run and gun or shoot 'em up, there's patterns to be had here, and I get boxed in right here, and so that's going to require me to use my first credit here. So out comes another quarter, and we're up to 50 cents now. So halfway through our allotted money for this particular episode here. So we'll see how we can do. See how much longer we can string it along. And again, ratcheting up the difficulty. More enemies. More projectiles. Well, there's another life down. Keep plugging away. This rocket animation looks really cool. I like that. Reminds me a bit of like Russian Attack, Final Stage, in the NES, and in the arcade, I guess too. I don't think I've ever beaten Russian Attack in the arcade though, so. Alright, another continue, another quarter, 75 cents. This boss has a pretty standard pattern. Just jump over the middle rocket, watch for the top one, and try not to take the bait and go down and pick up the weapon. It's a fool's errand. Alright, one of the more crazy bosses in the game, but a lot of fun. The patterns start to get a little more involved as you work through the later levels, and this is a good example of that. Alright, another death. Needs another quarter. Down to our last one for the dollar play. These level assessments are usually pretty brutal too. You gotta do really well to get anything above like average, so that's actually a pretty good one, all things considered. So once again, the pace picks up quite a bit here in this level, but this level is really fun. So I think I've played through this game all the way through at least once, and I keep coming back to this level thinking it may be the best one in the game as far as just sheer action and just interesting one to play. Really kind of stringing this last credit along here. I'm on my last man, on my last credit, but I'm hanging in there. So let's see how much longer I can take it. Alright, we survived to the next level. And this one gets pretty crazy too. Again, hectic pace just continues to ratchet up, and this one is no different. Not quite as fun as the previous level, but there is a lot going on and a lot to see here in this one. Alright, so that's it. And I'm out of quarters, so that's my $1 playthrough. We hit about the, 14-minute mark of play, actual play on this one. That's not too bad, considering the nature of this game. And I'm not the world's best player at this, but I put in some decent time to be able to make it this far on $1. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this game, and if you haven't already figured it out, I really do like this one. If you are interested in the Atomiswave games and you have a Dreamcast, pick it up. Give it a try. I think you might like it, especially if you're into the Metal Slug games and that's your thing. I can't see any reason why you wouldn't dig this one. So, again, thanks for watching. And if you have any comments on Dolphin Blue, drop them below, and I'll be glad to answer them. And meet me next time. I hope to show you something that's kind of cool.